Live. Good evening, everybody. I'm going to quickly share some socials. Trivs, you can do the intro for us. Welcome back.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to race 5 for 1 on Watkins Glen long course super formula vehicles today. Definitely going to be an epic race of insane proportions with the level of race that we have here in their caliber, as well as the vehicles here definitely putting everyone to the test. Strategy as well going to play a major role, but we're looking forward to having an epic and amazing race. Tell us where you're from, where you're racing, how was your race, if you did race today. Let us know what's back.
Yeah, so we had a good Pool 4 race for a change. I think both of us have had ESCOM issues this season, so instead of our usual 2 and 3 pools, we are down Pool 4, but we took the 1-2 trips.
Yes,
So that was enjoyable. Race on battle there. Matching lap times and playing chess.
It's definitely not the first time you and I have had a 1-2 win going into races. The last time I think it was I had the 1, you had the 2, but you definitely deserve this win.
Yeah, what was it?
By about 25 seconds.
Yeah, but we had that race once at Laguna. I think it was similar. I had the harder tires on at the end, and you had the softer, and you're catching me at 3-4 seconds a lap, and I think you got me on the second last lap, right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah, that was my fear tonight, so I had to push the whole ways, but that was good fun. Still sweating here like I just jogged a marathon. I couldn't run a marathon. Actually, jog around the block would be a marathon. But yeah, we're here at the famous Watkins Glen. Community vote. We had the 3 circuits and car combos available. I was actually hoping for the new Trial Mountain, Grand Valley Highway 1 South was the other option. That's what I voted for. I was looking forward to trying that out, a track we haven't been on before. The other one was what's the other American track? Road Atlanta, something like that. In the radio. I think that was your vote.
So my vote was actually this track and combo here, purely because of the livery that I had in mind. But thanks to ESCOM and some unexpected changes, I wasn't able to complete that one, so I went to the old trusty livery that I did have ready and set. But I see there are some active people in the chat. Danny Hoffman, Ian Smith, well done, gents. Thank you so much for joining us. If you are in the chat, send us how your race went, or who do you think is going to be winning this race?
Just while we're waiting for them, how was the pit exit? Did you remember every time you came out there to hold it a little bit to the right so you didn't go over the line?
Yeah, so in practice, the pit entry was the bane of my existence. I could touch that thing every single time without fail, but thankfully in the race, don't know what happened. Odds were looking down upon me and smiling. Very happy to not be touching it. I'm not getting any penalties during the race. Very good.
I was amazed that not even just the pit lane, I didn't get one track limits penalty. And in half an hour practice that we did before the race and the half an hour I did after we announced that I'd get like every second lap going through the chicane. So somehow I managed to survive the whole race without one penalty. So congrats to me. I'll shake my hand. I'll be one of those guys. Did you get any penalties, Trips?
Thankfully not. Very grateful for that again. I was very tight though. I had a feeling a couple of times around the track I get a penalty. Just exiting turn 1. It's always a bit tricky. You go a bit wide, you run a bit long, and easy half a second penalty right there and then. But thankfully, we kept it nice and clean, nice and tight. But always err on the side of caution.
Yeah, got to shake yourself sometimes, Donnie. Looking at the qualifying, because we have 3 minutes left, so basically 2 laps. We have Mr. Callum Pace. He is currently sitting on pole, 4 tenths clear of the field on a 20.5. So I just suddenly feel ridiculous at I was happy with a 22.0. Should have been a 21.6, but a second off Kalen on a short track wouldn't have been too bad. But I was happy with that lap until I saw this. Outstanding by Kalen as usual. Then we got Supermanny 20.9, RBS 20.0. We've just had Yastil jump up into second on a 20.9 as well. DC Gaming's third on a 21.2. RBS jumping up to fifth. He's on a 21.0. Hollywood 21.5. Branavane 21.6. That was what my time should have been. Yanadi 21.7. 22.2 for DK at the moment. I'm sure we'll see more from him though. Let's see what he does on this lap. That was, I think, an outlap 24.
You can never predict what the guys are going to be coming around with. I see Sam is almost out across the line as well. But you never know what is actually going to come through. Always some epic racing coming qualifying, making us all look slow.
Kalen, I think, just got disqualified because he did a 19.8, so I'm just going to ban him, kick him from the lobby quickly and ban him. That's ridiculous. Kalen, what you doing?
It is absolutely amazing how he works and goes so quick around the track. These cars be so consistent, keep their tires going well. Not too shabby.
You see, he's got the Mercedes livery on there, but it says it's got the Fernando Alonso old plan on the back, so maybe he's waiting for Alonso to replace Hamilton and set some record laps like that.
Well, he is 7/10 clear of the second place.
Yeah.
Danny, we completely agree with you. Hacks, man.
Ghost Killer running the Aston Martin livery. Sam in an awesome JPS. Who else? Who's just gone there? RBS Racing running, let's call it a Vettel livery. It looks like an older one, I think. It's not a Verstappen. I think I saw a Verstappen livery somewhere else. So we've got B&H. We've got 30 seconds left, so guys are finishing their last flying lap now. Yes, still in the Senna livery with the Senna helmet. DC Gaming in the SRT livery. Stignator in the RTA livery. Hollywood in a custom. I can't really see what that is from here. Branavane, I think, was the other. There we go. Other Red Bull, the more modern looking one. Could be a Toro Rosso. Yeah, Nico, I agree. Kalen is silly fast. Henny in the C8 livery, and Yanali running quite a nice custom livery back there. We're just waiting for the race to start now. I don't think anyone else has got time to improve.
Hollywood is in a very, very nice and sleek Valvoline livery. This is one of the few times where I'm actually in the lobby with
that was the one I was trying to find just now. Just caught a glimpse. Okay, so we got a grid start. There's no false start, so everyone can just nail the rev limiter once they get the code. Hold that rev limiter down, hopefully put traction control 1 or 2.
And it's lights out and away.
Not a great start by RBS, was in second. He's dropped down 4 places already. Let's see if everyone makes it through turn 1.
Very clean, distinct. Keep getting a bit out of shape there and going wide, trying to make sure that he doesn't cause any havoc. Keep it nice and clean. Coming into fifth position.
Yeah, he got a half-second penalty. Deke cutting the corner there. Further back, RBS dropped from second to 6th, but he's using some boost. It looks like going up the inside of Sam, not quite making it. That's going to put him under pressure. Oh, and someone just lagged. A whole bunch of cars going wide there, coming out the chicane. I think Stignator was one of them that got bumped. Looked like Hollywood and Ghost Killer pace. Ghost Killer was up near the front, so I think he was the first car I saw going wide, getting it out of shape in the chicane.
We're coming through to the first penalty zone, sorry, the only penalty zone, so we see some changes places out here. So the field will start to settle down by the end of this track. There's still be some nice close racing. There's good battling going on between Yastil and Sam. Coming around this tight corner, Yastil just slipping in front of Sam, making it through, coming into the penultimate corner. And Distinct DK not far behind Sam, staying right on his tail on this corner. Oh, DK touching the wall slightly, putting him a bit out of shape, bringing Superman into play with that right in the livery. Very close, definitely wants that inside.
DK's currently, I think, our championship leader. He's in 5th place. He seems to have a little bit of lag. His car's moving around. Maybe he's on route as a potato or something. We're just riding on board with Superman and RBS battling for position. RBS using some boost to take 6th there. After whatever happened to him at the start, Superman runs a bit wide. Does he get a penalty for that in the chicane? Looks like he's safe at the moment. We go back to the front. Deaky and Yasteel both have half seconds. Serious Sam as well, and Brunavane. Kalen's got a 2-second lead and no penalty, so he's going to do what I do and try to get a gap straight away while the other guys serve those early penalties. Brunavane went from mid-pack to 2nd place there. Max Verstappen livery sounds familiar. What you say?
Very, very familiar. It also looks like Kalen's going on a fuel saving strategy. So he's only shifting at about 70-80% fuel. Sorry, his regular report. Just to save some fuel, make sure his first and last spot while he keeps going as long as he can on those salts. So he doesn't have to fuel as much in the second stint. And if I might just say, Stephen, during our race, I underfueled the second stint. I managed to catch you by about 4 seconds just because of that underfueling and making sure we keep it there. So it is a very good strategy just to make sure any mistakes don't go wide. As Gillibrand also getting a bit of penalty that was coming out of turn 1 as well.
Kalen doing what I only got right once, holding it flat through the chicane. I did it once in practice, and then every other lap I tried it, I ended up facing backwards. So I was doing the lift and keep the car at about 270 instead of 280, 290 like Kalen just did it. But how impressive was he through the chicane there? Just riding on board with him at the moment.
It is artistry in motion, to be honest with you. Going through that, making it look so easy, so smooth, so simple, when we know in fact it is one of the hardest things you can do and get right and nail consistent. But I guess that's why he's also in Pool 1.
So we're just going to go back to TV view. We've got Brunavane in 2nd. Oh, he's getting sideways in my favourite corner. I hate that third last turn. He's now dropped half a second there, so he's got Serious Sam right behind him. The thing with these cars, the dirty air is quite tricky, so if you riding behind, it's almost that you want to be that second and a half back so you don't get affected. Yes, you're still doing his best Senna impersonation, 4th place.
A few of the guys in our race went all out of shape in the dirty air, so it's going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be some exciting racing going on. Very excited to see tracks on, especially here with Yasteel, Sam and Gillibrand all being so close to each other already.
Sebastian Vettel, RBS GT Racing, he's up to 5th. Superman currently in 6th. Deaky 7th. So Deaky's dropped down from 5th to 7th, not having the best arrive and drive race. DC Gaming doing a good job in 8th place. Shout out to our reigning Wooden Spoon Loudmouth of the Year winner. Yanali 9th. Stignator now closing back up, he's up to 10th. After whatever happened in that chicane turn 1. Henny sitting in 11th, Hollywood 12th, Ghost Killer 13th. If we look at the pace, on Ghost Killer 22.0 for Hollywood, so you'll be catching him. 21.5 for Henny, 23 last time around for Stignator, Yanali 22.6, 22.2 for DC, 21.7 for Deaky. The time's all over the place, 22.4. No, you get one little slide, like you can see Manuel was 1.3 seconds off the cars ahead of him last time around, but one little slide when the tyres start going through the chicane, even half a second just by backing off that little blip.
Yeah, exactly. Just to give you an example, DC Gaming went slightly wide on turn 1 and Jan Ali took full advantage of that, making sure the game went 8th position back.
We're just looking. We've got a nice battle for 2nd at the moment, just at DRS, and we've got Brunavane 1.5 ahead of Sam, who's 1.2 ahead of Yasteel, 1.9 ahead of RBS, half a second ahead of Supermani, 2nd to Deaky, and then 2 seconds Yanadi. So everyone's still fairly in a train, but Kalen is 5 seconds out front.
Kalen's got a very good buffer there. 5 seconds in any other car on any other track would be well within hunting distance, but a little bit safer on SF's round.
In our race, I think I was 12 seconds ahead on lap 6, and then I almost half spun on that third last turn, but I fortunately saved it. I thought it was going to cost me 20 seconds or so, like it did in the quick 10-lap practice race I did earlier. We'll see Kalen going flat out through the corner again. He lifted a little bit there, but that's exactly the right thing to do. He's got a gap, no need to push it 100%. He's running at 90% and he's still matching second place. Both mid-21s last time around. So why push and make a mistake? He's got the gap, save some fuel, make time that way.
Exactly that. He just needs to make sure with those worn-out tires that he keeps it going, he keeps it pushing.
Yeah.
He definitely wants to get another lap out of these tires. That's 7 laps on softs.
Yeah.
That is pushing it.
I mean, look at his left rear, it's almost finished on the 6th lap. I'm actually surprised because we both managed to get 7 laps on our first stint, which was unusual for me. And on my second stint, almost filled the tank and I could have gone for the 8th lap, but I decided to be either lead, so I played it safe and just pitted on the 7th. So I went 7, 7, 11. But look at Kalen's back left tire; it's about to hit full red. So with the
So sorry, man. So I was just seeing Sam go into the pits.
Yeah.
Looked very, very dodgy, very, very scary. So let's just check with him to see if he gets that penalty. Because that 3 seconds is
a killer
hassle and it's a pain. It's almost impossible to recover from that. So I want to make sure.
We can see pretty much everyone other than Kalen and Henny pitted there. The first 3 coming out on mediums. Brunavane seems safe at the moment from penalties. So does Sam, and Steele's got to jump on him with a bit of fuel saving there, so that 1.5 second gap is 0.2 at the moment.
Doesn't look like anybody's got a penalty on fuels. That's perfect, that's amazing. Yeah. Very rare to see as well.
So this is going to be exciting. We've got Deaky's going for the second. He's doing soft like I did, and the 3 cars ahead that pitted put the medium, so he should be catching them quite quickly. But that's maybe not such a great idea on this track with you don't want to catch those cars on the slower tyres when it's hard to overtake. And we have Kalen going into the pits now, lap 7. Back left totally done, back right almost finished, on fumes.
Not quite sure what happened between Ghost Killer and KBR, but sorry, KBR Hollywood has a bit of damage on the front left. And Ghost Killer was able to pass him just around the chicane. Just missed the overtake, just missed the incident. Not sure what was there.
We've got C8 Henny coming into the pits from second, but obviously he'll drop back down a bit. Kalen's also fitting the mediums and going out. Kalen's leaving the pits. Brunavane's coming into turn 1. So that gap was 5 seconds. It's down to 3.5, coming down the whole way, all the way to the chicane with the speed difference. But Kalen's got 1 lap fresher tyres now, so that will do him well later on in the race. Only cost him 2 seconds, really.
Yeah, exactly. And Gran has Sam to contend with as well, who's 2.5 seconds behind him. There's going to be from way ahead, so it's into that dirty air. It's a world of a difference going around this track.
So while we watching the guys off the first round of pit stops, just a shout out to our sponsors, TGN Racing Simulators, sponsoring an awesome sim rig and a sim wheel stand. Track art, some more of those awesome South African MotoGP F1 track wall art. Then yourself, Gorilla Garage, I think, what was it, like 24 steering wheel kits, something like that. A bunch of custom steering kits. You can make your steering wheel look like Sam's JPS car, have your wheel look like that. Chat to Trivs from Gorilla Garage, and then we have DJ from Zappa Gaming. He's donated the subdivision, I think you can call it, Zappa Watchman. He's got an awesome custom watch in your favorite brand of car, so you can have a BMW mag wheel looking watch, or Mercedes, Honda, if you like a Renskott, or maybe even a Ford watch. Probably make your wrist oily, but move from Deaky there on your steel on the softs versus the mediums that I spoke about earlier. Your steel 22.7 last time around, Deaky 21.5. So he's pushing those softs, but he's going to have to run the mediums later still.
It also looks your steel is doing a bit more fuel saving. Deaky is about almost 8
Sam's doing a much better job than Brunavane at the moment on those mediums. Brunavane 23 last time around, Sam 22.4. The gap was 2.8 when they came out the pits. It's down to 1.4. Kalen was first lap out the pits. He's not doing too bad at all. Gaps up back up to 4 seconds. I think he's pretty much matching Sam at the moment.
So just to jump with the chats, just to see what's going on in the chats in the live section here. Danny Hoffman, no one running a Ferrari livery. Well, buddy, easy answer to that. It's because everybody has a proper strategy. They want to make sure they execute on it. It's rather stupid. Going to your comments about the liveries, tell us who you think is going to win this, how much you think they're going to win by, and what's your favorite livery of the night?
Yeah, as I was saying, it's closing right up for second. Brunavane only half a second over Sam, but Deaky's now within a second of Sam as well. He's within 1.2 of Brunavane in second, so he's flying on his softs at the moment. But now he's caught Sam and he's going to have to use boost or something to. Oh, did he went grass cutting there and managed to stay on track? I thought he was going to spin it on that corner, pushing so hard. These guys are only 4.8 behind Kalen. You see Sam looking 3 abreast into this turn. Brunavane goes from second to fourth in one turn. Deaky and Sam looked like they went a bit wide there, so possible half-second penalties coming their way. We'll take a look. Looks like they're safe. Looks like they're safe.
Deaky's got my favorite livery for the week.
Yeah.
Quite nice.
So that we're going to look at right on board and look at Deaky's car quickly. That fade design that Deaky always uses looks great on this car. Sam's
very nice.
some track cam. Donnie's saying Sam's livery, that JPS. I don't know, did he make it or did he just quickly download it with the late reveal? It's quite hard to make a complicated one in that time. How's Brunavane's livery looking at, like winter camo Red Bull?
Very, very unique. I'm liking it, but gotta say, Deaky's livery is but I see, just looking down the list there, those killers.
Yeah, I'm going with Superman in the buzzing Hornet car.
Yeah, he's making sure he's definitely noticing that gentleman who just livery. No one's going to be knocking.
See, currently RBS, who was up to 5th at one stage, is down to 8th, but he's on the mediums, getting them out the way. Stignator running in 9th. Now, see, that's the thing with contact at the start. Stignator is 23 seconds behind the lead, running the mediums currently, so same strategy as Kalen. He lost about 14 seconds on the first lap and was possibly mid-grid, so running a similar sort of pace, maybe a half-second a lap slow. But that's what happened when you get a bump at the start. Also, Ghost Killer down in 10th, running the same sort of pace, 25 seconds behind, but he lost 20 of that on the first or second lap. But Henny slightly slower, DC Gaming in 12th, Hollywood. The dog's just complimenting Hollywood's Valvoline livery there. So Hollywood's 1.3 behind DC. Hollywood's on the mediums, same strategy as DC. They're fighting to see which one of them currently we drop down to pool 2 next week. C8 just ahead. So we're going to go back to the front. Deaky's ahead of Sam. So Deaky needs to really push now. His softs probably have another 3-4 laps left in them. We're actually looking at the back, maybe like 2 laps. So he's going to do similar to me, 7 or 8 laps, and then the longest stint at the end on the mediums. Sorry, my puppy's just going crazy here. It's pushing in behind me and sticking its head down the side of the couch.
If only he was doing that to you while you were racing.
Yeah, no, thankfully not too much tonight. Came once right at the end and just a little bit distracting, but no jumping on me. That was at warm-up. So Deaky 21.9 last time, 3/10 quicker than Kalen, but Deaky been on the worn softs. You see, that's the thing. His 9th lap was at 20.6, which is fastest lap of the race currently. But he had to overtake Sam and Brunavane. So instead of running 3-4 20.6s in a row, he did 21.5, he had a 21.8, a 22.2. Now he's running with older tyres in the mid-21s. So when your strategy works out that you have to pass someone on slower tyres, it can always cost you.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. Deaky is the only one still on soft at the moment. Look like everyone else is on mediums. So, Superman did take that position from your steel, but he still got a 1-second penalty.
There we go, Deaky on cue. I actually thought he'd do one more lap. So he did 6 and then 7. Deaky hits into the pits, and where does he come out? Dirty air, we definitely won't do him any favours now if he comes out on mediums and dirty air. He's got a bunch of cars running into turn 1. Yeah, that should be him now till 12 laps on mediums till the end of the race.
Hopefully we'll be able to jump.
Looks like he might get some clear air here. He's got a couple cars just behind, coming out just behind him, or one car, C8 should be able to fend him off. And there's 10 seconds ahead of him, so that pit stop cost him 33 seconds. He's dropped further, he was 5 seconds or just under behind Kellen. Now he's 38. So
the cleanest that he's taken that chicane, but not too bad, not too shabby.
So besides from liveries, who so far is impressing you? Give us predictions. Who's going to win this? It's hard to look past Kalen halfway.
100%. Look, I'm going to have to say Kalen for the win here.
The other two on the podium?
Sam, I'm not sure if Sam's going to hit 2nd or 3rd, but definitely on the podium with him. And I think Gilbert's just going to hold on to it. But here's the thing. With Deaky's now pit stop, is he going to come out in 2nd or 3rd? That is my deepest question, and that's what I really want to know. But like I said, with Pool 1, and I keep saying this and I'll say it over and over again, these books surprise us. It could have never really come true, and we never know what's going to happen until the final lap is over.
Now running on board with Stignator. Now he's one that always goes long. He pitted on lap 7, so he's already done 7 laps on these tyres, but they look like they can go another 7. Unfortunately, he's probably only got fuel for like another 4 or 5. So about another 3 laps, I think, fuel. So he's going to probably do a splash and dash and go back onto softs to the end, where other guys might have to, looking like Jan Ali needs to stop in the next lap, possibly this lap. So he might need to run mediums till the end.
Yeah, so I see Mr. Obvious also into the pits, coming out, going all the way to the end now. And
Yeah.
Surprisingly, he's at the soft as well.
Yeah, still on the mediums pitting. He's going to, I don't think he'll run softs to the end, so you'll have to go mediums like your strategy. The mediums aren't bad. It's your loss. Once you get to like lap 8, 9, obviously you're going to be a lot quicker than you would have been on softs, because the softs would be dead by then. But even like lap 6, 5, 6, when the softs are starting to go off, the mediums aren't bad. It's just those first 5 laps where they're like 2 seconds a lap quicker. So only you're still pitted there. RBS down in 13th at the moment. Got his last pit stop out the way, so he's 1 minute 10 behind Kalen. 51 seconds behind Yastil. What happened to RBS that he's so far back? Because he was in top 10 just now.
I'm not too sure. He did have a pit stop as well, which did take quite a bit of time because he did a full stop and change of tires, but he's gone on to soft, so I would have expected it to go on the set of tires, and he's got a 45-second as well.
Yeah, there we go. Sam is in the slap. Same with Brunnevain and Superman coming in. All the medium runners. Kalen did 1 lap further than them last time around, so he's looks like he'll be in the next lap. I think these guys probably also all be switching back to softs now. Doing my strategy. Depends. Yeah, it would be a longer stint. I think Kalen will. Yeah, they're going back onto mediums. Kalen's going to do what I did, 7, 11, I think.
And there's DK coming through. Coming out in third. Oh god, that was a very good strategy by him.
It's also been good pace. He did a 25.6 on his in lap.
Danny definitely giving the point, hitting the nail on the head there. Saying DK impressive, fighting through the field, giving it some epic commentary, epic racing to watch as well. Always a great sight to watch.
So Kalen's in on his mediums with what's that, 7 laps to go? 8 laps to go. Does he go mediums again or does he go soft? I'd go soft.
He can definitely make the soft work, but does he want to take that risk? Because Sam is behind him in mediums, so is DK, so is Gillibrain. He can make it work on the mediums. Let's see what he does.
Kalen, it looks like, is staying with the mediums. It hasn't updated his fuel yet, so no, it looks like softs on the car driving out. No, stayed on mediums. I mean, Kalen had a 10-second lead before the pits. I think, if anything, he's probably extended a second or two. We'll see shortly.
Take a bit of time to just stabilize the moves, and let's see where the battles are heading. It looks like there's a nice battle.
Yeah, DK doing a great recovery. Like you said, he is only 2 seconds behind Sam now. Yeah, Kalen did take an extra second or so out of Sam with the extra lap. He put in less fuel and he went from 10 seconds to 11.2 ahead.
Just rubber banding a bit like that, and with Sam's time there, the gap between them is going from 2.1 to 2 seconds. So it does need to stabilize a bit as these boys go throughout the tires. Sam is on fresher tires with a little bit less fuel as well, so he might be saving there. Let's see how it shakes out.
Bit louder there. Sorry, I didn't hear that last part. See, Brunnevain had a penalty to serve and he had dropped off the back, so he's actually under attack now from Superman. Nice move into the last sector.
Very nice and clean move there by Superman, getting that position.
Brunnevain looking for the cutback. Yeah. I think he had to turn onto the curb there. That's a corner I hate so much. But good job by Superman working his way up to 4th. Brunnevain's been struggling a little bit more on the mediums than the softs. He was in 2nd before the first round of stops and now he's down to 5th. Let's go further back here. Steele is currently 6th place. Steele center.
He's closing on that gap because of that fighting that Superman and Brunnevain are doing. So in a few laps we should see him coming into that battle as well. Jan Ali doing a great job there and great recovery. But I have to say, I think driver of the day, yes, Kalen's kept that position and he's kept it nice and tight, nice and clean. DK Diki's showing us some stuff.
We see Obvious is back in 10th now, Hollywood in 11th, C8 Henny's coming out the pits in 12th. He's just cut the line at 3 seconds, going to cost him, not even cost him pool 1 because DC goes through. So now he's going to have to make up that time. But in Henny's favour, he's done what I did, and he's gone on to the softs where DC Gaming was on the mediums. So he's going to serve his penalty. He'll probably have to come from 4 or 5 seconds back, but he'll have some soft tires to try catch up and get out of the drop zone.
Yeah, definitely. I also have to commend Ghost Killer Face there, Mr. Bryson. He was dead last at one point, and just consistent play, good strategy. Good
as quick as Kaelin's been, like I say, lost 20 seconds on the first lap, so Andy was probably 5 seconds further back on the grid. So if all things had gone well, he'd be within 10 seconds, which would currently put him second. Same thing, Stignator lost about 15 seconds or so. He'd be sitting ahead of Superman. So, but yeah, that happens. Little bumps in the first corner or first chicane. We'll obviously find out later if anyone does report anything. Keep the panel busy.
100%. And just a reminder to those watching those who are racing, if you do have any reports to make, please report them. Please let us know what's going on.
Trivs just likes looking through the reports on a Friday. Keeps his Friday at work going well.
Goes to make sure that you guys are racing nice and clean, and every incident is well handled by these students.
Ghost Killer getting a half-second penalty there. Smoking the wheels up the hill. Not sure how the front was smoking, but anyway. I see quite a few of these guys with the boost, the overtake button. Still got quite a lot left for. I see Ghost Killer's got a quarter left. That's about where I was with 5 to go. But how did you use yours, Trivs, when you were racing?
So in the opening laps, I didn't use it too much because I didn't want to get stuck in the dirty air. But I did use it coming out of the slower corners, just nice and consistently. But by lap 23, it was all gone. But I didn't need it after that. So
we see obvious pitting. I don't know why, because his front is pretty done, so he's just going to pit and go for a couple of quick laps. But looking at someone like DC Gaming, he's got half his overtake left. Hollywood's got half of his left. Henny's almost half. Henny's almost full, I think it was. Kaelin's a little bit less than half. Sam's almost done. Deaky's got quite a bit left. Manny's using some of his now. Half left for Brunnervan. So what I did with mine is on the first lap when I was in the lead, so I wanted to break the slipstream coming out of turn 1. So I held it for quite a while there, but most laps I just, as I came out turn 1, give it one push, and then as I changed it into 6th gear coming up the hill, I'd give it a second push. And I was watching the timer to you, I was making about 0.3 of a second each lap when I did that. Sorry, it's a bit late to tell you now, but obviously use yours in other places. I did 1 or 2 slow corners, the little uphill turn by the coming up to the penalty zone. Once or twice I used it there, but I just pushed it almost every lap, and then I still had quite a bit left at the end, so the last couple laps I was just holding it the whole way down the straight to make sure I used it.
Yeah, look, I knew I was never going to win that race, so my strategy was use the boost and overtake button whenever I was in trouble, just to keep the slower corners and help me get some speed in the exits. It worked out. It made sure I wasn't overtaken by anybody. But yeah, it was disappointing seeing you open that gap from you started at a 2-second gap, and you ended with about 17 seconds, but at one point you were about 22 seconds ahead of us. So it was very disappointing to see that.
I'll slow down next week. Back at the front, the gap's got under 10 seconds, Kaelin to Sam, but not any threatening pace that it's. I think Kaelin's just managing it like I did. You want to keep that 10-second gap, not push, because there are 1 or 2 corners that can bite you, and if you spin and you get stuck, like on that third last corner, it takes you a good 20 seconds to turn around, 3-point turns. Deaky's dropping back from Sam 5 seconds now. I think he's just managing his tyres, which are pretty worn to the end here. He does have a 5-second gap over Manny. Manny's tyres quite a bit better. If anyone's got a team radio there at Pace Motorsport, tell Manny to push now. He's still got 3 laps. He might even catch Deaky. Deaky runs into problems. Brandeveen dropped to 2.4 behind. Still 3.4. Then a 6-second gap to Jan Ali's, 4 seconds ahead of Stignator. Ghost Killer's back within 1.4 of Stignator. Hollywood 17, 5 seconds to DC Gaming. C8 Henny's now within 2 seconds. That was that battle we were talking about earlier. And then RBS pitted for softs for some reason. He's only 3 seconds behind Henny, so I don't know what RBS didn't need to pit. Maybe he said he's not in the championship battle, so he's been messing around a little bit. Maybe he wanted to try for a fastest lap at the end or something. I see he did a 20.8 last time around. The fastest lap's a 20.6. But he does need to make one position, otherwise he's going to drop to pool 2 next week. Henny's within a second now of DC, so I think DC's got 2.5 laps to defend these 2 cars. I see Deaky now for some reason in 3rd place is pitting. I don't think he needed to pit there. So the back left is finished, but you can do. It would be easier to do two slow laps, losing 3-4 seconds a lap, than to pit and lose 30. I'm not sure why he did that. Strangely in our practice, I put mediums on and I drove till all 4 tires were red on lap 16. It was quite funny. I was losing 4-5 seconds a lap, but you could actually drive the car on. And Deaky, it's a 3 seconds.
Oh no. It is possible that he didn't inform him going in, but oh man, it was just so heartbreaking. He was doing so well.
Kalen, who's pretty much his title contender, will be smiling about that. Points difference from 3rd to 8th might help out there, or Deaky's car seems to be jumping around a bit. So let's go through there. I said Manny might catch Deaky. Manny's now on the podium. Outside shot for one of the drivers of the day.
Definitely. He's kept it nice and consistent, kept it nice and clean, used the strategy well, and head down, focus through, and definitely made a good result.
Yeah.
So just to let you know, that is a Pace Motorsport 1, 2, 3. Just to repeat, Pace Motorsport 1,
and don't forget, what's that, 5 and only 6.
That's correct.
Ghost Killer 8, so your top 8 is 6 pace. So you guys on course for another Team of the Year title. DK and 9th, Hollywood. Yeah, okay, all your pace folks at the top. RBS has got past DC. He's chasing Henny for 11th. But we're going to go back to Kalen just to watch him finish the last few corners. He's almost, maybe not quite, he's 1 sector off lapping the 3-car battle for last place. They're hitting the start finish line and he's crossing into the last sector, so 20-25 seconds from those guys. Kalen, 10 out of 10 rating, 10-star win on what they call it,
a wonderful result.
the Aramco power map or whatever. So great job there by Kalen. We're going to see Sam come around, take second, 11 seconds further back, still in the 22s. Last lap was a 24, but nice and consistent. Superman 11 seconds off him.
And just to say as well, Danny Hoffman, well done on that prediction. It was not far off. 10.5 seconds there. I think he's looking 11.
Brandeveen 4th, yeah, still 5th. Janali holds off Stignator, that gap's 2.7. Stignator's got Deaky right on his tail, but he's just going to miss out. So Deaky drops to 8th. Mr. Deaky P. Ghost Killer finishes 9th after that start. Hollywood running 10th. Looks like RBS has passed Henny. You can see below there. Mr. Valvoline Hollywood. I think he's just having some relaxation after driving his BMW around race tracks in the Arab states for fun. The RBS 10th, Henny 11th, DC Gaming taking home 12th place. So no one's getting relegated. Did someone get disconnected during the race? Right.
Not that I saw. Definitely not that I saw. But just on those results, well done to all that participated. It was an epic battle all across the field, from top to bottom. Definitely well done, Mr. Kalen Mao, on that win, leading the race and dominating from start to finish. Well done for pace 1, 2, 3. But it's just so disappointing to see that Diki had such a great race. Unfortunately, had to quit because the tires weren't benefiting him there. But oh man, just so upsetting.
Yeah, I think DC disconnected after he finished the race.
Yeah, I did see him cross the line, but
Yeah.
not too sure.
But yeah, we can work that out later, I'm sure. He was in 9th at the time. Well done, guys. Shot to everyone. Shot to our sponsors: TGN Racing Simulators, Trackart, Gorilla Garage, and Zapper. Check out their Facebook, Instagram, all those things. Give them a like and follow. There's going to be a lucky draw. I think that's for the TGN wheel stand, and I think there's Trackart with it. For the guys that have done 7 or more of the 10 races. So keep racing. 3 more rounds to go. I think we have a break next week, the second load shedding break, and then we have 3 rounds including a rally round remaining. So good night all, see you in 2 weeks time. Thanks Mr. Trivs, and well done Caleb.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks everybody for joining. We really appreciate you sticking with us from start to finish and your contributions in the live chat. Looking forward to the next race. I've been Triv. We've been the commentators here. Thank you so much.
Cheers guys, bye.